I would like to break down supplementation in a very easy to digest manner because the world of supplements is very overwhelming. I just had a conversation with a client and it shouldn't be that difficult, but because there are so many elements and pieces of the puzzle, especially as we get older, there's a lot of different avenues you can go down. Okay, but I want to start with the very beginning. If you are new to the game, whether you're just now starting your wellness journey, or maybe you've been very healthy and you've never taken supplements, but now you are a female that has been at that place in her life, you're currently going through hormonal changes and you feel like you need something, you don't know where to start. I am going to break this down in 8 minutes because I have a call. I have a meeting at 3 o'clock. So we're going to just get right to it. Number one is you need to make sure you're focusing on whole foods the majority of the time. Okay. So whether you're working out or you're not, you're doing HIIT, you're doing lifts, you're doing weights, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure you're diversifying your nutrition, getting whole foods, you're eating the majority of your meals from home, prepared at home, and you are saucing things yourself, you're seasoning things yourself. Those little things do matter because if you're buying foods out that are, even if it's chicken breast marinated in whatever the hell it's marinated in, I am guaranteeing you that 99% of those marinades are going to contain inflammatory ingredients, okay? So if you didn't see my post today, it was about omega-3 fatty acids and how there are omega-6 fatty acids, which our body needs too, but it doesn't need to be up here and then our omega-3s down here. It should be a 4-to-1 ratio from 6s to 3s. 6s are in a lot of things, but highly processed foods are high in omega-6s, and you know, we need some of it, yes. But the American diet, majority of us are closer to 20-to-1 instead of 4-to-1. That's just because of all the processed junk out there. And so we want to be careful there. And I'm bringing that up first and foremost because I do believe inflammation in the body, 9 times out of 10, stems from the food that we're consuming and the imbalance of the omega-6s to the omega-3s, okay? So do you have to jump into supplementing with omega-3s? No, but you need to know what foods do contain those nutrients. And I just posted today about it. Mackerel, salmon, and sardines are the 3 biggies that you would need, but you would need it 2 to 3 times a week, depending on your serving size and the size of your body. Are most of us getting salmon, mackerel, and or sardines multiple times a week? Probably not. And then you have to look at like the mercury level and all of that. And so the quality that you're consuming. And then of course there's plant-based sources, but that is not converted effectively to the type that we need for our body to thrive. So I know plant-based individuals, I'm speaking because I am probably 90% plant-based at this point, but I was a 100% plant-based vegan for about 5 years, and I was not supplementing. And let me tell you, friends, it was not pretty the way that it ended. I could barely support my body weight, my joints, everything was terrible. My hormones became quite tanked. And I do believe it's because I was not supplementing. So can you get through without supplementation? Yes, but you need to be on it with your nutrition, and you need to be on it with what you're doing for the other pieces of the puzzle with lifestyle choices. So again, do not get super overwhelmed, but start with the food. And then if you're like, okay, I feel like a pile of junk, what do? I do not want to keep spinning my wheels. I myself took the Viome at-home gut microbiome test. That has different layers. It has different levels. So you can take the bare bones, which is going to give you everything gut related. So it'll give you the list of foods according to your most inflammatory to least inflammatory. But it will give you your superfoods that contain the nutrients you are deficient in. So I just had a client reach out and she said, I just got my Viome test results back. Do I need all of these supplements? What do I do? What do I need? And I said, well, send me the list because I want to see with those 28 items that you are deficient in, what level are we deficient in? Because if you're highly deficient in 3 or 4, then you should be taking those items separately to get the most out of them. And then you should also focus on the foods that they're telling you to eat, because then you don't need to take those as supplements. So we need to really understand where we are able to just incorporate specific foods that will bump up our amount of B vitamins, our omega-3s, our, whatever it is that you're deficient in. But majority of us need to be supplementing with a vitamin D3, K2 specifically. Majority of us need to be incorporating omega-3 fatty acids because it's just not a part of the daily, what most of us pull from for our day-to-day nutrition. And also most of us are deficient in magnesium. Those are the 3 I constantly see when I'm looking at clients who have taken this Viome test. They're giving you a list of all the things you are deficient in. Those are always at the top of the list. B vitamins, especially for our plant-based friends. I know that was at the top of my list. B12, I was like, oh my God, I was having to supplement with thousands and thousands milligrams per day. And so, excuse me, you really want to know your body and don't just start taking things because everyone's telling you to do it. I mean, I've done my research. So with me saying those 3 are at the top of deficiencies, I have studied repeatedly. So I see the majority. And that is what it is. But you can take a test, whether you're going to go to your doctor, get labs drawn, whether you're going to take the Viome test and get that information. Let me know if you want information on the Viome test. You can drop that, either DM me right now or send me add a comment after I post this. You can put Viome, Viome, and then I can send you that information. I do have a discount code, of course. But when it comes to your supplements, should you have them all together? Because that's something that Viome does offer, everything together. But then they also, then you hear me talk about getting things just as is. Now, again, this is all personal preference. But if you are just a newbie and you don't take anything and you feel like you need some of these things, but you don't have a lot of money to invest, then yes, getting like a multivitamin, getting everything in one or maybe a few pills a day, that's going to be better than nothing. But if you want to get the most out of your supplementation, you will probably need to start taking things individually at different times a day. Some are fat soluble vitamins and some are not. And some are better later in the day. Some are better earlier in the day. And so, yes, you can get down to the nitty gritty of all of it, but I think starting out, remember that food does contain this stuff, okay? So it's understanding what your body needs, what vitamins and minerals are in the foods if you are deficient in them, and, supplementing elsewhere. But I do, again, feel that the Flux bundle that I've created for females, it contains the magnesium, the vitamin D3, K2, and the omega-3s. I've created that for a reason because most women need that. And so Adapt Naturals was nice enough to allow me to gift you all a free annual bottle. It's enough for a year supply. It's a little tincture, little dropper. So you get that free with your subscription for the magnesium and the omega-3 fatty acids. So if you would like information on that, let me know. Drop Flux. Well, actually, don't drop that because you're going to get my automation. Drop bundle, and I will give you information on that. But otherwise, again, start with the food and then understand your body and what your body needs. Get lab work done. Then see what is most, deficient, what you're most deficient in. supplement with that, and then incorporate foods for everything else. If you're just slightly deficient, just look up the foods that have those vitamins and minerals and call it a day. You don't need to be taking 1.5 million pills every day. And because there's a lot of stuff out there, I feel like we just see the pills, the supplements. But again, it all starts from the food, but you got to understand you. You got to understand what you are going to be doing every single day. And for me, like some of these drinks and some of these things and some of the food, I'm like, I know I could eat the food. However, I'm not going to do it. And I know that about myself. So I'd rather take a pill or a powder or whatever it is to make sure that I'm covering my bases. So again, let me know if you want information on the bundle that contains the free bottle of vitamin D3 K2. If you want information on Viome, so you can take that at-home test to see what you're deficient in, drop Viome with a V. And if there's ever a time that you don't get my links, then just send me a quick DM. I try to stay on my DMs as much as I can. So we'll get you that information. But hopefully this was helpful. And again, there's a ton of other things. I had a friend the other day. She's like, if you could choose one thing that I need to take, what would it be? And my first question to her was, for what? Like, is it for energy? Is it for libido? Is it for sleep improvement? Is it for cortisol maintenance or reduction? There's so many different things. So again, it's understanding like where you need the help and maybe confirming that that's what it's actually stemming from. Okay, friends. And if you are interested in coaching, there is one spot open for VIP. And yes, you would be working with me directly. So just send me a DM. I like to connect with you one-on-one so we can kind of go back and forth in the DMs, and I will give you all the information. Have a good day.